Let's go ahead and see a quick example of working with shims to shim a date time in the framework. You want to show it in fakes?
I would love to, yeah.
All right.
All right, so we have an example. There's an MSDN doc that has a really good example of how to create a shim, and as well as how to create a stub. So here's the example for creating a shim in Visual Studio using the fakes framework. What you actually have to do is you go into the references. So if you wanted to create a shim for, system, you'd actually right-click on system, and then you'd say add fakes assembly, and then that would create the fakes for system. So that's why it shows up as system.fakes in the fakes folder.
That's pretty hardcore. So you're going in and you're taking the DLL, again, third-party dependencies, and you're creating a whole fakes DLL out.
Yeah, exactly. And then what we do is we use this kind of command called shimscontext.create. So we create this new shim, and this is just the Y2K checker. So it's basically saying, if, let's see, here's the code. It's saying if date time now is, January 1st, 2000, then Y2K bug. It's kind of funny. I like that.
It is.
So that's kind of what the code looks like. So this is actually just checking the Y2K bug. And it's also saying shim date time now get, and then it's passing through in a Lambda expression, just, empty, and then looking for the new date time and then checks.
Got it.
So that's kind of a really quick example of a shim. Let me just show you what it looks like to create a stub in the Microsoft Fakes framework as well.
Okay.
It's very similar. So you just have, the shims context, and if you actually look, if we can right click and we could say go to definition, and that'll just give us some information about the shim using shims.
Okay.
If we go to another solution that I have, and this actually creates a stub. It's the same idea. What we did in this instant was for a file system, we decided that we could just create a fake for the file system class. So we're creating a fakes for file system, and we're using the stub iFileSystem then. And so we're actually using a stub instead of a shim. So what this is going to do then is it's taking just any text file, it's inserting in the hello world into the text file. But that's the general idea of how you use a stub and a shim. They're pretty different, but they kind of start off at the same place, right?
And it looks like on that particular one, when you were doing that request in, you're saying, hey, this is what I want back. I'm going to pass you this, myfile1.txt, and I expect to get back hello world. That's just give and take. So you're setting up that really simple stub. So whenever somebody says, hey, what's the content of this file? It comes back and says hello world.
Exactly.
Okay, that's stubs and fakes. Let's jump into the next content, which is dependency injection frameworks.